I've gotten quite a few comments on my videos asking me about my characters and stories, and I've been wanting to make this video for quite some time now because of that. I have quite a few stories across various genres, but all of them have one thing in common. They're all angsty as F, okay? I just like angst. And all of them are still under construction. I've been wanting to make all of them into comics as well, but it's not really working out for me. So if you end up being interested into any of these stories, well, you're gonna have to wait a bit. So what are my stories? Well, let's start with my main story, The Runaway Gang. The Runaway Gang is a coming-of-age, slice-of-life story that follows 4 kids that all run away from home because of their personal issues and come to some self-discovering realizations along the way. If it were a TV show, the episodes would mostly be episodic, since the story focuses mostly on adventure and exploring. Of course, there would be continuity, but the overarching story will mostly stay in the background, as character development would be the main focus. The main characters are Lara, Eva, Richard, and Maya. Lara is a cheerful, friendly girl with a loose tongue that's by far the most adventurous out of the 4, and quick to make impulsive decisions that she thankfully gets herself out of if it's a bad decision, since she's a quick improviser and is pretty creative. She's also daring and brave, but also pretty cocky and bossy and likes being in the center of attention. Next up is another bossy girl, Eva, or as she likes to call herself, Ivy, who gets into fights with Lara quite often since both of them like being in charge. She's very clever and confident. She's also quite rebellious, passionate, and ambitious. Her biggest flaw is her ego and quick temper, often losing her cool over Lara's antics. She also has a sarcastic sense of humor and is very witty. Then there's Richard, Eva's best friend. His personality is in many ways similar to hers. Since growing up he always looked up to her. He seems pretty cocky and arrogant, but in reality he's pretty insecure. He's daring and competitive, but also loyal, patient, and reliable. He's very socially awkward, in the sense that he doesn't really know how to act around people, so he comes across as a jerk most of the time. He also has a huge crush on Eva. There's also Maya, who is a shy and caring girl. She at the same time plays the role of the mother figure thanks to her compassionate and realistic nature, and the child of the group because of her naivety and childlike personality. She often cools down the tension between Lara and Eva, acting as a straight man. Along their adventure across Croatia, yep, this story takes place in Croatia because I can, they meet a lot of different people who also help them in their personal journeys. While they are out there adventuring and on their runaway, their family is looking for them, which also takes up a significant portion of the plot. This story has seen a lot of changes throughout the years, so maybe if you guys are interested in the different incarnations of these characters, I could make a video about that too, but I don't know, tell me in the comments. But yeah, that's the story of the Runaway Gang. If you want to learn more about the characters in the story, check out my ref sheet account because there's a ton of information about the characters in there, including their backstories. Then there's my Victorian era, epic fantasy, drama-ridden angst. That's by far the story I want to adopt into the comic the most. The Raven and the Reaper. Working title. This story is going to take me quite a lot to explain. It takes place in the world where certain people have the ability to see death, the Grim Reaper. Now, these humans have 2 options. To either ignore the Reaper and live normal lives, or to try to provoke him in some way. Now, this can be trying to attack him, trying to interfere with his work, for example stopping him from sending souls into the afterlife, or by losing a game or a bet against him. If a human does any of these things, they die instantly and are transported into the many purgatory realms. There are plenty of these purgatory realms all around the world, and they're mostly for souls that need to be cleaned before accessing a proper afterlife. They're also inhabited by many beings such as psychopomps, tricksters, angels, demons, and so on. Also by purgatory humans, which are normal humans who are born into the purgatory realm from the souls that never access the afterlife. The human who has interfered with the Grim Reaper has a special fate awaiting for them. The story follows one of these humans that can see the Reaper, Raven River, who tried to attack the Reaper after seeing him hovering over the corpses of his parents. He assumed that the Reaper committed the murder. As you see, he isn't the sharpest tool in the shed, but he makes up for his impulsiveness with his bravery. He's very loyal, determined, and is always true to his word. He's also quite thick-headed and naive, but also friendly and fun-loving. In the Purgatory realm, he meets 2 psychopomps, Edith and Beatrice, who offer him a home. For those of you who don't know, a psychopomp is a being that guides souls in the afterlife. Both of them are very intelligent and charming ladies, though they're quite different. While Edith is calm, serious, disciplined, stoic, and humble, Beatrice is bubbly, cheerful, mischievous, and quite a joker that likes to pull pranks on people. There are also other humans who have interfered with the Reaper, such as Oscar and Lucy. Oscar is a smart kid, but a little too sure of himself. You see, he tried to offer a Reaper a game of chess to bring his mother back to life, but he lost the game because of his overconfidence. He's quite a nerdy guy, a bit socially awkward, but very friendly. He likes making people laugh, but his jokes often fall flat and usually people laugh at him rather than with him. He's my fave. And then there's Lucy. And nearly everything about her is spoiler territory. All you need to know about her is that she's a romantic, affectionate, passive, charming young girl. She's a quick learner and is very creative. She's also quite easily jealous. There's also many more characters in this story, but I only cover 2 more that are from a side story in this huge story. And yes, there's quite a lot of side stories in this, but this is the only properly developed one so far. The Raven and the Reaper side story. So there are these 2 little shits, Dante and Faith. You see, in the Purgatory realm, spiritual activity is much more common, which means there's a bigger threat of hell and demons. So people are much more religious. In come Dante and Faith, twin siblings of a local priest, who are teenagers and sick and tired of their dad telling them how to live their lives. So what do? They do the most unholy thing imaginable. These 2 mad lads raise a demon. But the demon they end up raising is also super chill and also a bored teen. So they all come together and cause mischief around the town. Dante is a perverted little guy, quite cocky and flirtatious. Also, he's very social and manipulative. Seems to be smart based on his education, but is actually a dumbass. Faith is much more serious and intelligent though, but she lacks social skills, which is why she prefers to be alone most of the time. She's pretty stoic and quiet. To learn more, my ref sheet account is full of information.